To us as Muslims, we normally have teachers from 3 different angles. We have orthodox academic teachers. We also have those people I call simply religious teachers. And the third one are those people I've always preferred to identify as teachers of paradise. Orthodox academic teachers, I am very sure that all of us at one point or the other in the evolution of our life, we've gone through them. Those are the teachers that taught us from primary school, secondary school, and the university. There is one thing that is somehow unique about these teachers. Inasmuch as we appreciate their commitments to our success, the only blessings that we have always witnessed Allah giving them in their life, those who are sincere amongst them, is that in most cases they have successful children. Hardly will you see a teacher, those ones who have taught us in primary school, secondary school, and the university professor, whose child is not successful. Just look through. Any one of them who has a failed child in life, I'm sorry to say, something must be wrong with the sincerity. Teachers' children are usually successful. And apart from this, I do not see any other benefits they derive, maybe their salary. Because they are committed to earning that economic benefit, which is worthy. When we employ them, the primary thing in their mind is their salary. And if they are not paid on time, they go on strike. Because they are not, the primary things in their mind is not to attain the pleasure of Allah. It's not our success. They've gotten the certificate, and this certificate has tied them only to economic benefits. For that reason, they will earn their salary, the economic benefits, and those who are sincerely committed to their job would rear successful children. I mean biological offspring. You understand? Allah blesses them with successful children just because they are sincerely committed to the work they do. Those of them who take advantage of the students, female students, who exploit them by collecting money from them, we know what usually end up in their life and their children. Then, number 2, we have religious teachers. Those ones I call religious teachers are those of our teachers we encounter in our different madaris. Why I want to say that virtually all of us must have encountered the orthodox academic teachers, but not all of us are fortunate to have learned under the tutelage of religious teachers. Is there, please, among us, how many of us attended Arabic school? What we call Arabic school, Ile-Kewu in Yoruba. Alhamdulillah. We have attended Arabic school. But how many of us attended Arabic school to the level of Idadi or Thanawi? Thanawi, you said? Idadi or Thanawi? Yes, that's good. Barakallahu fikum. Idadi? Thanawiya. Jazakallahu khair. Where is that? In Ilorin, Mahad al-Azhar of Sheikh Abdul al-Adabi. Sweet. Now, those who have gone through these teachers, we call them traditional teachers. I'm not talking about those who learn in those modaris at the gutter sites. Those in your neighborhood mosque, there is usually a madrasa situated very close to the gutter. You have tried. But I'm talking about those who truly went through the traditional madrasa. They were fortunate to study Nahu, Sarfu, Balagha, Mantiq, Arud, Ilm al-Fara'id. These subjects, they were exposed to it. Different teachers taught them. These teachers, I call them religious teachers. But they are not necessarily identified as teachers of paradise. Which is number 3. Teachers of paradise are ideological teachers. Those are the teachers. Let me first of all I'll talk about the orthodox academic teachers. Those ones we encountered in classrooms, nursery school, primary school, secondary school. And I told you, don't forget, that they stand 2 advantages only in their life. 1, the benefit of their salary. 2, if they are sincerely committed to their job. Sincerely committed to their job without exploiting the students or the authority of the school. It may be government, it may be private ownership. In most cases, they normally have successful children. Apart from those 2 things, if you slap them, it does not hinder anything in your progress in life. There are many people who are beating up teachers and in worldly things, because what brought them together with their students is only worldly things. And most of those teachers, the only thing they aspire from the management is salary. They will not teach if they are not paid. And the moment they are not paid, what do? They go on strike or they complain. But the religious teachers in some of these established institutions, we have them in different states. Like the place where our brother studied, Mazeedatil al-Zahari. That's one. For those who came from the southwest Nigeria, there is Darul Dawa in Isolo. There is Markaz Ta'alim al-Arabi in Agege. There are plenty of them situated around Amkoko. Darul Falah, Darul Irsha, Darul something, this one, Darul Kola, plenty of them between Amkoko, I think almost about 30. Situated between Amkoko, Ajegule, Badia, they are there and they are very sound. Now coming to Ibadan, we have plenty of them too. We have Mahad al-Arabi, we have Al-Kharashi, we have Madrasatul Dawa, and a number of them too. We have another also in Ibadan. In Abeokuta, we equally have some of them too. These are major schools. Coming down north, we have one in Kano. Do you understand? Kulliyat Sharia in Kano. These are very sound schools. Teachers who teach in these schools are called religious teachers. If I call them religious teachers, it does not mean that they teach you the right ideology. Do you understand? But one thing is that those schools are established purposely for the propagations of religious doctrines. And oftentimes, they emphasize the teaching of Arabic grammar. Okay? and poetry. These teachers we learned under them. I personally, I did my Sanawiya under them. Now, what is their own reward? One thing that, you know, they could be so funny. They are terrible people. But surprisingly, judging by our own logic, we feel that the Orthodox academic teachers should stand better advantages than them. But unfortunately, in life, they stand a better advantage. One, in most cases, they also have successful children. That's one thing. Two, if you are rude to them, I cannot explain this. It is one metaphysics. It is one mystery, which some of us who have gone through them are yet to comprehend. If you disrespect them, you are rude to them, you run them down, you backbite them, even without doing anything, you just discover that mysteriously your path is hindered. That one is a fact which I cannot really understand. Maybe some people have said maybe because of the sacrifice, they are not after what they are given. In some of these schools, they are not paid. Where they are paid, those of them who studied in Saudi, Egypt, and returned home in Libya to teach in those schools we are talking about, they are paid as low as 8,000 naira. I know a place where they are paid 7,500. And when you see them teaching in class, they will remove their agbada. They will be so committed, sweating. They will be so happy with what they are doing. You understand? You now discover that oftentimes we have seen them, we have seen their children being successful. So, what is my own stand in all this? One, we honor our religious teachers without exaggerating, because they taught us some things. It is beyond Arabic. Let me tell you some secrets. We are all practicing Islam, ideological Islam. There is nothing that distinguishes Abu Mazeeda from the rest of you. Abu Mazeeda is not better in any way. He speaks English. You also do what? You speak English. He went to the university. You did what? You went to the university. Whatever he must have learned, you have equally learned in your own way. Is that not so? But Abu Mazeeda speaks Arabic. Do you understand? And he studied Islam from the Arabic original. Okay, it is possible too. You may also use David Cohen. Do you understand? Or Arabic by radio. But there are some things we learned in class. That is why when it comes to the issue of Islam, for example, there are, in the southwest Nigeria, there are a lot of crises going on, ideological crises, going on among brothers. You will now discover that those who started with traditional learning of Islam, they have better character. They are more well behaved than those who pick Islam from air. Are you with me? Because they learn it from the source. This alone makes us to honor our teachers. These are the teachers. Now the third teachers. These are the teachers of paradise. All the teachers, you know, in a number, there was a conference sometimes ago of Islamic organizations held somewhere in Nigeria, and a lot of scholars were there. And when I was about talking, I made known one fact, which I want to repeat here today, that those who taught us Islam are different from those who taught us the language. In Arabic school, those Arabic schools I mentioned, wallahi, we did not learn Islam. Wallahi. Single Islam like this, the smallest Islam, we did not learn. Even most of what they pump into our head as ahadith, they were fabricated things. Even those ones, are you with me? But they gave us one opportunity. We learn raw Arabic. You understand what I'm saying? With which we can read Islam from its original source, which is different from the Islam that you are learning from the English materials. Are you with me? When I am reading Quran, for example, if I get to a word, for example, where Allah says, let me give you an example, there are plenty of them, where Allah says, Allah is talking in Surah Al-Buruj, وَالسَّمَاءِ ذَاتِ الْبُرُوجِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْمَوْعُودِ وَشَاهِدٍ وَمَشْهُودٍ قُتِلَ أَصْحَابُ الْأُخْدُودِ النَّارُ ذَاتُ الْوَقُودِ إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ. Allah says, إِذْ هُمْ عَلَيْهَا قُعُودٌ, when they sat round the fire. For example, the way I would understand it will be different from the way you will understand it. If you read the English translation, the simple translation you will have is that when they sit around the fire, whichever one you open, they will say when they sit. But me, as a student of Loga, I will know that the Qa'ada there is different from Jalasa. Are you with me? And I will equally know that there are no two Arabic words that mean the same thing. There are no two Arabic words that they say the meaning of this in Arabic. If you read Lisan al-Arab of Ibn Mandur, you will know that you will never encounter two Arabic words. So they can only borrow these words to interpret this. Now, if I read Idhi Humaliya Qa'ud, I know the type of sitting that they sit. It's different from Jalasa. Now, my imagination will see it, I will visualize it. Are you with me? In the Quran, Allah is talking about sleep. There are a lot of words Allah used. Allah used La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wala nawm. Sinatun is a sleep form. No is a sleep form. When Allah is talking about those youth of Ashab al-Kahf, Allah also described them with another word that is equally sleep. When your English translator is teaching you through English translation, he is going to tell you sleep. Is that not so? But no, Sinatun and the one used by Allah, I can't readily remember it now. Maybe I'll remember it. You said? Yes. Yes, no, Hassan. That one is different. It does not literally translate into the kind of sleep you have. Are you with me now? The teachers who taught me all this and who gave me this background, they are worthy of being honored. And I want to tell you that I honor them a lot. That is one experience. Now, coming to the teachers of paradise, you see these teachers of paradise in our life. Why do we call them teachers of paradise? We call them teachers of paradise because they discover us, they pick us up, they nurture us ideologically. In some instances, they might not even be able to speak Arabic. This boy, you are a boy, you can be a teacher of paradise to me. I speak Arabic very fluently. You understand? I may land up, you know one thing about teachers of paradise. Number one, he might be a teacher over someone who is older than him. Are you with me? We find them a lot in our midst, among brothers, ideological people. Have you ever seen a situation whereby you see a much younger person and you see an older person looking up to a younger person? Have you, please, sisters, you are talking. Have you ever seen that kind of situation? You see someone who is who is younger among his followers are older people. Have you ever seen such a thing? It can be. Another way, I, for example, among the teachers who tutored me when I discovered Islam and I was growing up, there are some of them who cannot read Juzu Hamma. Wallahi. In fact, I discovered my Islam through those, I discovered my Islam of Sunnah through those people that I can teach Arabic, I can teach Quran. Their recitations of Quran is even poor. Are you with me? In the contemporary of history of Islam, there was a man called Shahid Hassan al-Banna. Among his students was Sayyid Sabiq. This Sayyid Sabiq is the author of Fiqh Sunnah. Are you with me? Hassan al-Banna's knowledge can in no way match that of Sayyid Sabiq. And Sayyid Sabiq happens to be a student, hardened student, loyal student of who? Hassan al-Banna. That's another characteristics of the teacher of knowledge. Then number 3, and which normally happens oftentimes, these teachers of paradise, in a situation whereby we have a knowledgeable teacher of paradise, the students normally enjoys them a lot. Many contemporary scholars like Sheikh Bombas, they have a lot of students. Like Sheikh Uthaymeen. Don't forget that Sheikh Bombas, Sheikh Uthaymeen, Sheikh Yusuf Qaradawi, and many teachers like that, they were not teaching in the classroom. They were not teaching like the religious teachers. You understand? And they were not teaching like the academic, orthodox academic teachers in the classroom. But they are what? Mentors. So they are murshid. Teachers of paradise. They are what? They are murshid. My personal experience with each one of these teachers has been so much interesting and sometimes funny. I think I should first of all start from my experience with religious teachers. A brother who has undergone Thanawiyah, my brother, you will testify to it that our religious teachers are very brutal. Wallahi. Brutal in terms of discipline. Wallahi. Subhanallah. Subhanallah. Those who went to Orthodox school and did not pass through them, those who have Islam and have not passed through them can never get this message well. Wallahi. The moment you register as a student, from the beginning to the end that you will graduate, you are treated like a slave. Are you with me? You are treated like what? A slave. They don't care. If they need to humiliate you, they humiliate you. You can imagine in a class. Let me give you a very good example. One of my children told me this story that happened about 3 weeks ago. I just want to give you an example. One of these teachers was teaching them. He just came to the class, was teaching them. That my child is in the Tarawiyah class. The teacher now said that all of you should buy so book. Anybody who comes into my class next week and he does not have the book, I'm going to beat him like this. And the students in the front use him as an example. Continue like that for almost about 3 minutes. That one, his body is tear. No any sin. Wallahi, that's how criminal they are. Those ones, they are so cruel, brutal. They can, the way they handle things, there are still some marks in my body. I still see it. Wallahi, you will see it. It's a mark. Look at it. It's a mark. I remember the scene very well, vividly. You will never forget. Wallahi. There is. Then what about humiliation? They don't care. Okay, we finished class and it was time for prayer. Do you understand? And it was, you know, Maghrib period is so short. And everybody was online. Then a student must do the Iqamah. Then the Mudir is going to lead Salat. I remember as I talked to you in my uniform. I was in my uniform. Then I called. Allahu Akbar. This is the tone with which we call in those days. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Qad qamatis salat. Qad qamatis salat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's how you do. When I was making a comment, do you get it now? Rather than saying Qad qamati, I said Qad qamatus salat. I just put Dhamma on top of the ta, unconsciously. The mosque was filled up. Then the Mudir said, repeat it. That's in Arabic. I recall it. They will not tell you where you made mistake. They will leave you till you finish. Repeat it. I finished it. By the time it was getting to fourth, my legs were shaking. Everywhere was shaking. Number one, for missing it in the public, you know that you are in trouble. But another thing is in the public. Repeat it. Make it number 5. Repeat it. The time of Maghrib. Those ones, they are not in a hurry for the time of Maghrib. Wallahi, when they are teaching you and they call prayer, and you said, Ustaz, it's time for Salat, they will beat the person who raised it. After beating him to sickness, they will now say, is it not Allah that says, know me before you worship me. You are knowing Allah. Wallahi, they are not in a hurry. Those ones, if you remember them, you just remember. You know, it's an experience that I deliberately took my children away from Abuja to go and have that experience. My son, who is studying somewhere now, always thank me, because with his colleagues, even in the university, and some of them, you will now be saying, assuming I did not go through this. They were here in school here in Abuja in era 11. I just took them. That time they could not even speak a single Yoruba. By the time, let me finish my own story. So I was shaking. Then I repeated. When it was going to 8, Mudir now sent for paper. We were in the serve, paper and biro. He now wrote it just on the wall like this. He wrote it. He wrote it without putting the something. But I'm a student of now. Call again. But my mind was, I did not know my mistake. Psychological problem. That day, if I was beaten, it could have been better. I was shaking, sweating. They corrected. Then he now put all the points. Even those things I saw, I did not see it. You get it now. After that, he now said, time of Maghrib had gone. Ishai was there. Nobody dare leave the congregation. No student. Say you want to read. They now said in the public there, they should give me 44. Do you get it now? 44. Another person, you know, I've now put all members of my class in trouble. Because during that scene, everybody in my class was already crying. Boys, do you get it now? They now said any other person from the class. They push another person. Do you get it now? It was that one that now escaped through. That is the attitude. They can humiliate you. It's part of knowledge. And it's part of learning. And when you speak Arabic with them, not like in school, even if you speak bad English in class or with the teachers, in most cases our teachers just overlook, they just continue what they are doing. That place, when you speak, you are speaking with them in Arabic and it's looking like this, and you make a grammatical error, you will see you make a grammatical, it will do like this, as if you give him he will now tell you, keep that, wait, go back with your explanation. He will never tell you what you have done. By that time, and you are not standing to discuss, you are doing like this. Do you understand? You might be there for 2 hours. Can you see? Oh, you know what they told my son? When they just came, they got there. Those who cannot speak Yoruba, when they ask them, they say, La ilaha illallah. Hey! Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi. Baba Resuwona. Your father has wasted money. What? They will look at you like that. They will be asking a child that, what mistake did your mother, why didn't they use you for abortion? That if they have used you for abortion, that they will justify it in the sight of Allah. That they will justify because you are contributing, and this is their life, their lifestyle. They are brutal. You can imagine. They can humiliate a whole generation because of a mistake of one person. I was in one of those schools one day. A brother brought water for me to perform ablution. One of his teachers just said it. He said, he saw him, he said, you, from which state have you come from? That one said, from Abeokuta. He said, we have been doing a lot of wahala to make you and your family and all the people from Abeokuta to know Islam. Yet they refuse. They are just there in shirk. Our fathers, they made effort on them. We are also making effort. You are only here wasting time because you will never understand what we teach you. Can you imagine? And they will say it. That one did not offend them. You now know that is an experience that when you remember it with nostalgia. You are happy. When you find yourself in that midst, and it's an experience of discipline. Someone that, for example, when our teacher died and everybody had to come, everybody had to be present, you will now see respect. As you respect someone, another person is respecting you. The name they were calling you then, Sejid, senior, is the same name they were still calling you. Senior, Sejid, you have forgotten me. This is what are you doing now? And the way you also respect some people, that discipline is there. And wherever you encounter each other, there is respect. But for the son of your teacher, as young as he may be, wherever you meet him, you must respect him. I was equally delivering a lecture one day. Among the guests, the person that would deliver a lecture after me was the son of my teacher. As I was delivering lecture and he arrived, do you get it now? You know the way they will welcome and everything. When he just sat down, I left the stage where I was delivering lecture and I went to him that this is what I am talking about. This is what I am talking about. This is how far I have gone, and this is what I want to say. And he will say, continue your work. Now, when that kind of thing, that's why it pains them. When you brothers meet them, and you don't honor them, you know, you just get there and said, we wanted to do one marriage, sometimes in Lagos. A particular brother was the MC. Wallahi is a Mecca brother. One of the Mecca brothers in Lagos. I remember him. He was the MC. He was now doing normal. He was now saying, now, you know, in Yoruba speaking, the person will now introduce, Those one were now asking. They called me, they said, who gave birth to him? Who is he? That they should collect something from him. You know, studying under them, we have a lot of benefits and a lot of values. We have a lot of regards for them. May Allah preserve those who are still alive. Those who are dead, may Allah forgive them their sins. Those who are still alive, may Allah grant them Islam. Because if they have Islam, a lot of people will fall in. Now, for the teachers of paradise, I have told you their characteristics. They are like murshid. But one thing about teachers of paradise is that because their responsibilities, they are delicate. They are meant to guide to paradise. Oftentimes, they are victims of shaitan. Especially if they have limited knowledge of what they are doing. Are you with me? And the moment they fall to the trap of shaitan, all those who are loyal to them, they will fall along. Unconsciously. Are you with me? We have seen different cases. Especially when you see extremism coming up. I remember the story of an Islamic activist in the Saudi in 78-79. They call him Juhayman al-Hutayba. Juhayman al-Hutayba was a student of Sheikh Bombas, a very good student. He founded Jama'atul Salafiyya, and with other brothers, they were youth. They were learning Islam. They were very sincere. But because they used to go to the halqa of Bombas, it was from Sheikh Bombas, the Mufti of Saudi Arabia. It was from him they got the inspiration to do the dawah. And the dawah was going on fine. But you know one thing I want to quickly warn against. There is a danger that lives in us. A potential danger. And it comes along with our youthful exuberance. There are three things that we try to misconceive. We need to really distinguish each. Number one is Iman Amik, sound faith. Number two, Hamasatu Shadida, strong emotion. Number three is youthful exuberance. Youthful exuberance is different from strong emotion. An elderly person, an adult, can have strong emotion that may be misleading. Emotion can be positively channeled and it can be negatively channeled. But youthful exuberance does not have any value. Are you with me? Allah knows that there is youthful exuberance. And that is why Allah does not want anything like youthful exuberance to be close to dawah or Islamic work. Are you with me? To be close to dawah or Islamic work. Because youthful exuberance will collapse 100 years' efforts. Let me give you some instances about this youthful exuberance. Before I mention it, let me quickly cite some Quranic verses. Go and read all those verses where Allah introduced his prophets. When Allah mentions his prophets, he mentioned it when he refers to Musa, he mentioned it in Yusuf and a lot of them. He will say that Allah grant him knowledge, wabalaga ashuda, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala nurture him into maturity. Maturity suppresses youthful exuberance. Buluk, wabalaga ashuda, someone who is doing dawah and he does not have maturity will destroy more than he will build. It is in the youth. That's why you see many youthful efforts ending up in waste. Allah did not commission Muhammad as a prophet until he was 40. Is that not so? Until he was 40. Allah allowed the society of Makkah to continue to ruin and smell in deep jahiliyyah, and Allah was just looking. You know, it could have been in a haste that let's quickly send this messenger. No, it was when Muhammad was 40, and even at that, at 25, one of the things Allah used in preparing him was a mature wife. And when Muhammad started the message, that was why, as tough as the persecution in Makkah then, if Muhammad were to be younger, Muhammad would have mobilized his limited number of followers to rise against the Meccan authority, and it could be suicidal. Is that not so? Most of the mistakes we make today, we try to think when we are under the influence of youthful exuberance that we are really under the influence of Iman. We think that it's Iman, and then there is an encounter, then the struggle perishes. And it's different from emotion. This Ju'ayman al-Utayba was a student of Sheikh Bombas, and they started the dawah in Medina, and it was going on fine. All of them were attending the halqa of the Sheikh, and it was a nice effort. Then they told the Sheikh that they have gathered together, they wanted to establish a group that they have called the group Jamaatul Salafiyya. Sheikh Bombas was very happy that the dawah these boys have been listening to is now taking effect in their life. He now added that it's a very good effort, but what I want you to add an adjective, al-muhtasiba, so that the name of your group would be Jamaatul Salafiyya al-muhtasiba. The meaning of muhtasiba, hizbah, is that will be monitoring people to reform them. You understand? It's not going to be Jamaatul Salafiyya alone. It's not only on Bombas that this happened. Even here in Nigeria, it happened with Sheikh Abubakar Gumi, rahimahullah. He was only doing his early morning karatu. People will come, they will learn, bring your book, learn karatu from Sheikh Gumi, and it was going on fine. Those students came together like Sheikh Ismail Idris and a lot of them, including Sanusi Gumbi. Sanusi Gumbi died just of recent. They came together and they formed a group they called Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah. Because of what they were learning from Gumi, they were inspired to initiate an effort that will eradicate Bid'ah in the north of Nigeria. Then they formed Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah, and they went to Sheikh Abubakar Gumi for his blessing. The Sheikh, we have formed a group. We call it Jamaatul Izalatul Bid'ah. Gumi said this is a wonderful effort, but there is no way you will collapse Bid'ah without initiating Sunnah. Had another one that Waizalatul Sunnah. Why come to Sunnah? Why come to Sunnah? So, and the group lived while in hand and is doing fine. So the same thing Bombas had done with Jamaatul Salafiyya. They added the adjective al-muhtasiba and they were going on. You know, one of the things that Sheikh Mustafa Sibai, rahimahullah, has taught us could really distract the effort, a genuine effort of dawah, is the political authority, their policies. The Saudi government policy then had just started in the late 70s to shift to America. America was really influencing and industrialization was coming up. So this was inciting the boys against the government. And if it was only incitement, it would have been so wonderful. Do you understand? It did not stop there. There was equally a satanic whispering that when the Holy Prophet said, ultimately when Khilafah will come, it will be established under Al-Mahdi, Imam Al-Mahdi. And the name of Imam Al-Mahdi, Rasul said, he would bear my name and answer the name of my father. In the course of this discussion, this boy resolved that, can we just make one of us as Imam Al-Mahdi? And there is one handsome guy who was once a musician. He had repented. he was committed. His name was Ahmad bin Abdullah. They just declared him Mahdi. Juaiman mobilized in his support, was one of their members, and they announced that Mahdi had arrived. In November 1979, you know what they did? They invaded Haram with guns and ammunitions. There are films. Go and watch the films. Google it on the internet. The invasion of Haram by Juaiman al-Utaiba. You will see how they invaded Haram. You get it now. They did not kill the Imam of Haram. It was shortly before Suwi. They killed the Muazzin of Haram. He was the first person they gunned down. And a number of people who came for Umrah, they were trapped inside Haram, and many of them were killed. They said that the Mahdi promised by the Holy Prophet Muhammad had come. And it would be that Ahmad bin Abdullah. Many people died. Ordinarily, one thing about Haram is that even when we are in Haram and when we are in Haram, those birds you see in Haram, we mustn't kill them. How much more a human being? They cause a lot of atrocities. And the Saudi government was challenged by the prospect of flushing them out of Haram. How would they go about it? If the Saudi army should invade the Haram, is a violation of the holy sanctuary. What would they do? Now Saudi government needed, it was under King Faisal, they needed a fatwa from the religious authority under the leadership of Sheikh Bombas. Give us fatwa that will legitimize our invasion of Haram. Sheikh Bombas and other scholars in the council of fatwa, they were confused. First day, second day, third day, they were still deliberating. Is it legitimate for the government to invade the holy sanctuary, to flush it out? They were confused. They were afraid of being accountable for a sinful verdict. Azhar University was impatient. Sheikh Azhar issued a statement, and the scholar of Azhar, they said, Saudi Arabia, you have betrayed the Muslim world. They said Sheikh Bombas and other scholars, you have betrayed the Muslim world. These boys, the time is going. These boys, they brought a lot of dates, and they were surviving on dates. They brought it to the Haram. Their women were invaded. One of their women, one report I read, brought out the organ of one of the Saudi police. When the Saudi eventually came in, the police they found inside Haram. One of them brought out his organ. They brought it out. The woman in the cup just cut it off. They did a lot of atrocity in the mosque. Then, Bombas, after almost about 10 days, issued a statement that the government should do everything possible to protect the holy sanctuary. Even he was afraid of being categorical. When he said it, Saudi government said, the royal family said, it's enough. That's all we need. Do you understand? By then, all the Western nations, they were already lobbying Saudi Arabia. We have commandos. We can take charge of these people. But Saudi did not listen. Then Saudi released his soldiers, and there was heavy bombardment inside Haram. Now, look at the fitna. These boys, I called them in one of my books I wrote. While narrating this story, I called them, I said, teacher of paradise, student of hell. These boys actually started well. They learned from a good teacher. Is that not so? But Shaitan distracted them. So what we need to learn from this is that it is possible and always possible that you will have the right teacher. Do you understand what I'm saying now? And you will be distracted by Shaitan. One. Number two, another thing which often happens is that the teacher himself may be under the grip of Shaitan. Are you with me? So, every one of us must have a teacher. The teacher is the mentor. A qualified teacher. Yes, you must be very selective in choosing your teacher. Your teacher must be a muttaqi. A muttaqi is a pious and righteous person. Your teacher must be a mukhlis. A Mukhlis is a sincere teacher. Are you with me? And your teacher should be scholarly and knowledgeable. But mind you, you may end up knowing more than your teacher. One thing is that the moment you know more than your teacher, you must remain subservient to your teacher. Let me give you an example. When we are talking about the religious teachers, this happened a lot. That a student will end up knowing. In fact, it has really happened. In fact, it got to a stage that our teachers, the religious teachers I'm talking about, those traditional teachers, we got to know that we are already doing better than them. With our wide reading, are you with me? But we never humiliate them. You understand? We will always remain subservient. The reason is that there was a time, because Allah has made them the foundation of what we have. What really matters is the aslu. Do you understand? The foundation. It's not the end. And they were the one Allah used. So, every one of us must have a teacher. And don't forget, your teacher must be a pious person, a righteous person. Your teacher must be a sincere person. That's it. And your teacher must be a scholarly teacher. However, there are ways through which teachers mislead students. And you have to watch out for this in the actions of your teacher. One way is this: the use of words. You know, many teachers are careless. Are you with me? Even if this involves big scholars whose names we hear, they are so careless. Most of the crisis and fitna we have in the Muslim world today, most of them are caused by ideological teachers. Doing takfir of this, doing takfir of this. When you utter a statement and you do it carelessly. I was reading a book in Mazeedatil written by Hassan al-Banna sometimes ago. And Hassan al-Banna was addressing the Ikhwan. He said, "Oh, you Ikhwan, this your dawah is the best dawah. And no any other dawah is comparable to it. Only do never be deceived to admire any other dawah. Any dawah that is different from your dawah is a way of misguidance." That is too much. You understand? That is what? Too much. Those who have formed Hassan al-Banna into a cult personality will find it difficult to appreciate any other Muslim. Is that not so? Now, let me give you another example. I was reading Sifat al-Salat al-Nabi of Sheikh Nasruddin Albani. And Albani was describing, he said, when people come from Ruku, you know, some people normally do like this, and some people will put hands like this. Albani said, those who normally return their hands in their chest, he said, فَهَذِهِ بِرِعَةٌ دَلَالَةٌ, that this is an innovation and it's a misguided innovation. That way is too strong. Irrespective of whoever must have made it, is too what? Is too strong. It has the potential of collapsing the Ummah. Even within the Salafiyah trend, we know a scholar, Sheikh Muhammad Saleh Al-Uthaymin, who believed that, in his own opinion, that when you come out of Ruku, your hands must not be in your chest. Your hands must rather be by your side. You understand what I'm saying now? So, and by using the word Bid'atun Dolala, especially if we remember that the Holy Prophet Muhammad said that Bid'ah will lead to where? Hell. Is that not so? Now, using that kind of adjective to describe such a trivial thing is too much. These are the bane of the troubles we have within the Ummah. Now, coming to local teachers, the way you communicate your words and your messages to your students are really the bane of the problems we have today. For example, when you communicate to them, with them, and you try to describe people of others, I'm talking about within the Islamic fold. Do you understand? Those who are equally committed to Sunnah, you try to describe them or communicate about them as if they have no any relevance. I don't know if you understand. Within the Ummah is a big problem. So this is one way through which teachers mislead. In the past, we were victims. And this is a very pathetic situation. The way you communicate your message. Number two, mistake of the teacher is the character of the teacher. Imam Shafi'i said that because Imam Shafi'i was a student of Imam Malik, he said we learn more through the character of Malik than we learn through his words. A student learns from the character, and a student believes naturally. It's natural. Look at your children when they come home and you tell them to do something anyway. They said, "My auntie said," isn't it? And they will believe so much in their auntie. My auntie said, and you stand where their auntie is. Let me give you a very good example. Those who have gone through religious teachers have just discussed. When they read Quran, they find it difficult to read Quran in another way different from their teacher's style. You understand? Even when we are leading prayer, we read in our teacher's way. You get what I'm saying now? With nostalgia. This is how far the teacher's influence can go in a student. So, but Imam Shafi'i, let's learn from him. Something happens to Imam Shafi'i. You know, Imam Shafi'i was in Mecca and he wanted to learn. So, his father was dead. He had a mother. He told his mother that I want to learn. And I really want to learn in Medina from Malik bin Anas. So his mother hustled and gave him something. Shafi'i went to Medina. When he got to the mosque, that the Prophet Mosque, where Malik used to teach his Muwatta. Because when he was going, his mother had taken him to the king. And it was the king al-Maruzi that now gave him, the king of Makkah, that gave him a letter, a recommendation, what do you call it, to Malik. And he had memorized the Muwatta written by Malik, and that was the book, the syllabus Malik was using in the Prophet Mosque in Medina. So when he arrived, as he came, he sat down just behind. The first thing he was doing was to study the character of Malik, gesticulation. Do you understand? The way Malik was talking. And it was not noticed until Malik now asked a particular question that who knows so thing, and he started reading. Malik said, "You were not here when we learned this part, when we studied this part of Muwatta." He said, "I have committed it to memory ever before I came here. What I've only come to do is to learn the character of the author of Muwatta." Are you with me? He learned it. When he was through with Malik, he needed to learn more. He heard about some students of Abu Hanifa. Abu Hanifa was no more alive, but some of his students, Imam Abu Yusuf, and Imam Muhammad, they were in Kufa. And he saw some people who came from Kufa in Iraq. They were lying by the Prophet's grave to say salam to the Prophet. They came for Umrah. He told them, "Have you performed your Umrah?" They said, "Yes, we just came to Medina to say salam to the Prophet." "When are you going?" They told him. He now said, "Okay, I'll follow you because I want to meet some scholars to learn from them in your town." He now went to Imam Malik to tell Imam Malik that he will be leaving. Imam Malik did not have much at that time. But Imam Malik gathered some things, helped him, and he proceeded. When he got to Kufa, he just went into the mosque. And they had finished prayer. He did not know anybody in town. He sat down inside the mosque. As he sat down, a particular man just came in. This man was the local champion. You know, there are some ruthless, cruel-minded brothers in every neighborhood, in every group. You will think they are the owner of that group, that they purchase it with their father's money. And you will think they are the owner of the mosque, and they know nothing. That kind of person just came into the mosque. He also missed prayer. You understand? And that one started praying. Imam Shafi looked at the way he was praying, that he prayed so in a wrong manner. When he said the salam, Imam Shafi moved closer, greeted him. Imam Shafi said that, I'm sorry, the way you pray is faulty. This is what you have to do. The man looked at him. The man said, Mr. Man, you are from Mecca. He said, yes, I know you people are very arrogant. That's how you chase away the Holy Prophet Muhammad with your bad character. Imam Shafi kept quiet. He now said, he said, this prayer I've just offered, I have been praying like this in this mosque for more than 20 years. Do you know the scholars pray in this mosque? Imam Abu Yusuf, Imam Muhammad, and they see me praying like this, they never complain. You come one day and you are complaining, you know, there are people like that. So, Imam Shafi just left him, and he could not even ask him, those people you mentioned, whose name you mentioned, and people I know, he did not ask him because of the rude manner with which he talked. He sat down. So when this man was going out, Abu Yusuf, Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad, they were by the door talking, by the mosque door. Shafi did not know them. The man now went to them, sir, there is one very rude, ignorant man that just came from Mecca. He said, I did not pray very well. Have you ever seen any mistake in the way I pray? Those ones said, you have been praying here, we have not seen any mistake. He's now trying to correct me. Those ones said, who is that person? In this mosque, he came from Mecca. Okay, go to him. Go and ask him, how does someone enter prayer? Salat. And how does someone come out of prayer? Have you ever seen Oya, ignorant Oya? You will know them. Those who know nothing. He quickly went. He said, hey, Mr. Man, come. How does someone enter prayer? And how does someone, he was asking Imam. Imam Shafi said, that one did not even know that the same thing. He said, you enter prayer with a Takbiratul Ihram. The moment you do that, you have locked the prayer. Do you understand? What you were doing before prayer, you could not do it again. Until when you go out of prayer through salam, then you lock it up again. You are free to do whatever you do. Because he did not even know. This kind of man is in many of us. Carrying words from teachers. When they hear new thing, they will go and scatter their neighborhood mosque. They hear another new thing, their family meeting will collapse. They just had another. Those new things they are hearing, they themselves don't know. When they ask them for the hujjah, they will say, Sheikh said, Ustaz said. That was the kind of person. He now went back to report to Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad. Those ones were really baffled. That who could this intelligent person be? Then they moved closer to Shafi. They said salam. They said, from where are you coming? He said, I'm from Mecca, but I'm coming directly from Medina. They said, you have met Malik. He said, yes, I learned his character and a part of Mu'ata. They said, Allah, that's why you are very knowledgeable. What have you come to do? I have come to learn again from Imam Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad. And these are students of Abu Hanifa. They are very rich. Among the four Imams, one thing with which Abu Hanifa was distinguished was wealth, affluence. He was a businessman, a scholar, stinkingly rich. So was his students too, they were very rich. Imam Malik was initially poor, but was later rich. Imam Shafi himself was poor in the beginning. Wealth came his way, then he lost all the wealth because he used all of them for Saraka. Ahmad bin Ambal, Imam Ahlus Sunnah, he was moderate. Now, what they want to say is that when Shafi started learning under these scholars, and Shafi had to give reports, he wrote a book where he had to give reports of what he learned. He said, I did not only learn Mu'ata from Malik, I equally learned from his character. you must have a teacher who has a good character, who has piety, who has faith. Because it's not only the Nahu, Sarfu, it's not only the Akida you want to learn, you equally want to learn the character of your teacher. He said, but when I got to Abu Yusuf and Imam Muhammad, I did not only interact with them, he did not say he learned. I did not only interact with them on the same level of knowledge, but I equally learn how a scholar can be rich. Are you with me? You must know about your teacher. These are the things. What, in my own personal experience, what happened is that, and up to now, I have a lot of teachers of paradise. Some of them, I parted with them. But do you know one funny thing? As much as I parted with them, wallahi tallahi summa billah, wherever I see them, I give them maximum honor. Are you with me? You may part with your teachers. I will tell you stories of those who have parted with their teachers. But you must always honor your teacher because of one. Let me tell you one thing. Because he had discovered the ideology before you came. If you work faster than your teacher, you will know more than your teacher. If you now know more than your teacher, do not look down on your teachers. Because your teacher was the foundation of what you know today. That's one. This is how I interact with them. With my religious teachers, those people will learn from in the traditional madaris. You understand? I give them the honor. Even though I parted strongly with them on the issue of Akida. Are you with me? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had used them to teach me the language of the Quran, which distinguishes me from you. Are you with me? And with my orthodox academic teachers, any one of them I encounter, I greet him. Other than that, the government have paid them their salary. Assalamu alaikum.